Today we are diving into a very important and timely topic: how a Donald Trump presidency could impact Indian businesses. With global politics and economics so intertwined, any change in US leadership could have a ripple effect across the world, and especially for the Indian businesses. So let's break down what could lie ahead. Firstly, let me give you a bit of context. Donald Trump's previous stint was marked by a pro-America stance, with policies heavily focused on American interests. America first was the guiding motto.
From this day forward, a new vision will govern our land. From this day forward, it's going to be only America first. America first.
This often translated into tariffs, tough trade negotiations, and a pullback from the global alliances, especially trade.
Centered entirely on the well-being of the American worker. Every decision we make on taxes, trade, regulation, energy, immigration, education, and more is focused on improving the lives of everyday Americans.
Trump also took a very strict stance on immigration, taxes, and foreign business involvements, which influenced US India trade relations and definitely had a notable impact on certain sectors in India. Before moving forward, please do consider subscribing to this channel if the subjects of business, finance, and economy are of interest to you. So to begin with, let us discuss trade and impact on the Indian exports. Trade policies under Trump are expected to focus heavily on US interests, with a strong emphasis on reducing its trade deficit with key trading partners, and that includes India.
Donald Trump, the president-elect of the United States, is known to aggressively push to protect the interests of US companies. It's likely he'll continue to do that when he takes over from Joe Biden in the coming months. And if and when he does that, the prospects for Indian companies worldwide could be impacted.
Now let us understand this with a small example. During his last term, we saw increased scrutiny and tariffs on certain Indian exports like steel and aluminium. During his second presidency tenure, Indian exporters in these sectors, along with sectors like textile, pharmaceutical, and IT services, could face more challenges in the US market. However, a shift towards US China decoupling might still impact India positively. Many US companies are actively looking at diversifying their manufacturing outside of China, and Trump could push these efforts further. Indian businesses could see an advantage here, particularly in manufacturing, electronics, and alternative supplies.
Moody's ratings in a recent analysis suggests that India and the ASEAN region could benefit from a second Trump presidency due to shifting trade dynamics in the Asia-Pacific region. The global credit rating agency highlighted that the ongoing U.S.-China tensions might redirect trade and investment flows away from China, with a potential boost for India and its ASEAN neighbors. As the U.S. tightens investments in strategic sectors, particularly in semiconductors and technology, the negative economic impact on China could create new opportunities for countries in India.
One area likely to face pressure could be IT and tech services sector, especially when it comes to H-1B visa. Historically, Trump's stance has been very restrictive on immigration, and this includes skilled worker visa, which many Indian tech professionals rely on. While Indian IT sector, which is heavily dependent on H-1B visas for talent mobility, could face increased restrictions. This could also compel Indian companies like TCS, Infosys, or Wipro to either increase their hirings in US or expand their operations outside of US, thus impacting cost structures and operational strategies.
But his past actions in the previous term indicate a possibility of stricter immigration rules in general. Now, this bears high significance for India because we are the highest recipients of the H-1B and L-1 visas and have the highest student population in the US. The H-1B visa allows American companies to hire skilled foreign workers in specialized occupations, while the L-1 visas allow companies to transfer employees to their US counterparts. In his past term, Trump made several attempts to significantly tighten H-1B visa norms as part of his Buy American and Hire American stance.
Do let me know in the comments if you know of any other Indian companies that are directly going to be impacted with this H-1B visa change. Now, the other aspects of Trump policies could be on the foreign investments. Trump's policies often discourage foreign investments if they are seen as threat to American industries or jobs. So companies or sectors in India which are seeking direct US investments may see more scrutiny, especially in the sectors of telecom, tech, and energy. On the flip side, last term of Trump showed an inclination towards business-friendly policies like lower corporate tax and deregulation. So even during his second term, these policies could be very favorable for Indian companies which are operating in US, providing these companies adapt to meet his America First criteria. One of the critical areas of alignment is defense and security. Trump's administration had strong ties with India as part of his Indo-Pacific policies, which is his strategy to counterbalance China's influence. This could mean continued or even increased defense-related trade and technology sharing, which could directly benefit India's defense and manufacturing sectors. Indian defense companies and manufacturing sector, especially those involved in Make in India program, might see opportunities to collaborate on projects that support U.S India trade cooperation. If Trump pursues policies that strengthens US dollar or implement tariffs to protect American businesses, we could see fluctuations in the Indian rupee against the US dollar. A stronger dollar may make US exports more expensive for Indians, impacting Indian importers in the sectors of oil, electronics and machinery. At the same time, any inflationary pressures in the US from tariffs or changes in the trade policies may directly or indirectly impact the cost of imports from India, influencing the pricing for the Indian exporters. Hopefully you would have subscribed to the channel by now. If not, please do consider. Now let us look at some of the opportunities that might get created for the Indian businesses. While a Trump presidency could mean more trade restrictions, there may be an opportunity for India if US continues its shift away from China. The chance to attract US-based manufacturing, especially in tech, electronics and pharma, could be significant for the Indian businesses. On the other hand, there could be certain challenges as well. Trump's focus on limiting immigration and tightening trade policies make it harder for sectors like IT, pharmaceutical, and textiles to maintain their competitive access to the markets of US. To sum up, the impact of Donald Trump's presidency on Indian businesses could be a mixed bag. While certain sectors may face headwinds due to stricter trade and immigration policies, others could benefit from a shift away from China and strengthened defense ties with US. Now, what are your thoughts? Do you think Trump's second presidency is going to be an opportunity for Indian businesses or challenge? Do let me know in the comments below. And do not forget to subscribe to the channel. You may further write to me on my mail ID, which is mentioned in the description. And I will revert back to you. Be inspired, keep building.